Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. Week 0 is in the books, and there were only a couple of big teams that played. So we'll talk mainly about them, and if there's any other takeaways that you want to go at the end, let me know. Notre Dame, I thought, looked really good. We were kind of questioning, hey, they're coming into Dublin. What do we expect? Marcus Freeman had a pretty good first year. He also had some disappointing moments. Sam Hartman, new quarterback. I thought if you're a Fighting Irish fan after that week, you got to be thrilled. And I know Navy is not a good team. They're going to be one of the worst teams in FBS, but they dominated. They were physically dominant. They didn't give up. They gave up, 3 points? And I think more than anything is Hardman looked really good. And Notre Dame has had quarterback problems for a very long time. It's been what's held them back in the past. So I think if you're a Notre Dame fan and they've got a good schedule, I know it's crazy to say after a week 0 beating over Navy, but sneaky playoff contender. That's the sneaky.
I absolutely agree. I don't think that's crazy at all to say. And we said it last week during our college football picks. I said it that Notre Dame is good, a good football team, and they landed on their feet. They lost Brian Kelly in the middle of the night, the all-time winningest coach, and maybe the most historic program in college football history. And then they got Marcus Freeman, who I admittedly thought was probably not the right guy, and he has shut me up. He's completely proven me wrong. I admitted when I was wrong, and I have done a 180. I believe in Marcus Freeman, and I do think Sam Hartman is probably one of the better quarterbacks they've had in a decade,
our lifetime.
It's been a long. They've had quarterback issues. I mean, Brady Quinn's the furthest back I can remember where I was like, okay, yeah, that's solid, and that was more than a decade ago. With that being said, Notre Dame still is recruiting at a high level, not the highest levels, obviously. They have restrictions in place, hurdles, I should say, hurdles in place that the Alabamas, LSUs, the Georgias don't necessarily have. But with that being said, they're still recruiting at a high level. They still got guys. It seems like Marcus Freeman's message is resonating. He connects to the younger cats. I like what Notre Dame showed. And if you were riding with me, you got that 28.5 locked. It was locked in the first half.
Yeah, and if you're riding with me, you had the USC over and USC not covering against San Jose State, because guess what? USC showed us the exact opposite. If I told you Notre Dame, I think, established themselves just as much as you can in a week 0 matchup like this as a team that can make the playoffs. I thought you saw every reason why USC won't make the playoffs. They're fantastic offensively. They don't play defense. They're not a good defensive team. They don't play defense. They have no commitment to defense. Lincoln Riley seemingly ignores it. And while there were a lot of flashy plays in that game by USC, which is what you expect, the same problems are going to persist this year. Yeah. And it's just crazy. It's the definition of insanity. Just doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And eventually, a team like Utah, a team like Washington, we talked about the Pac-12. They've got contenders. One of those teams is going to beat them, knock them out of the race, and they're not going to have anything to say about it. And they're going to complain. But play defense. It's not that hard.
Yeah, Oregon's got a good defense. Utah's got a tough defense. Listen, we can all say Caleb Williams probably going to win the Heisman. The guy is electric. He'll be the #1 pick. I love watching him play football. But this is the same thing that Lincoln Riley did at Oklahoma, and it has something to do with how you're recruiting. They don't recruit well in the trenches. The coordinator hires have not been there. And then also the way you play offense, you're just trying to score as fast as possible. Big plays. I love it. It's super entertaining to watch. But eventually, it's not going to work when you meet somebody like Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan or LSU or Alabama. We've seen it time and time again. Lincoln Riley's team falls short when they play a real team. And it's because it's not just the players or the coaching. It's him, where he doesn't realize that this offense that he has basically mastered. It's a masterful offense. You can't only hope to slow it down, can't stop it type deal. It leaves your defense vulnerable. They're always out of breath. They're always tired. They're always on the field. That is not winning football. And I think everybody should be confident USC cannot win a national championship playing this style of football.
They can't win a national championship. They can't make the college football playoff at this point. I would be shocked if they're in the CFP playoff. I just saw what I need to see. Nothing changes with this team. Nothing changes with Lincoln Riley. Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look ahead at week 1 and give our best matchups, maybe give some picks.